Hey everybody, Nicole here from Cake Business School, formerly Angel Foods, and my own baking business, Snarky Sweet Cake Chick. I hope everybody is having an amazing Thursday. Today is our very first Thursday Business Bites that we are going to do weekly here in Cake Business School in the Facebook group, and then also cross streaming on our Angel Foods Facebook business page. So I'm just gonna jump in. I know I don't have anyone watching right at the moment, but it will be on replay too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in and get going. So again, we're going to do this every week. I've made some changes for the group for 2022, which was one of my own business goals. So I'm happy that I've implemented it and I'm taking action on it, which we'll talk about that in a little bit for your own cake business. But goal setting. Okay, I'm not a big New Year's resolution kind of person. I prefer to set goals rather than resolutions. I know maybe it's just a semantic thing, it's maybe just a different term for the same thing, but I just feel like the energy around the word goal just feels better to me. So I am very big into setting goals. And what I'm going to talk through today is how I have used goals to realize my sweet business dreams. I used to be a student in this group when this group was owned and operated by Rebecca Allen of Australia. I found her years ago online and just really resonated with her teaching and her style. And I ended up being in the group. I ended up signing up for Cake Business School, which at the time was her subscription based product. I also took, basically, I took anything she had to offer because I just loved the information and the content, and it was so helpful to me in realizing my own goal, which was to be able to quit my day job and do cakes full time. So, I really, really believe in this method that I'm going to share with you because I can tell you that I'm a living success story, and I continue to use the methods because I'm constantly setting goals for myself, and I think that I'm just such a big proponent of setting a goal, achieving it, and then setting new goals. So let's just jump in. I feel like setting goals can feel very overwhelming. Um, you may not know where to start, where to even begin. And I totally feel that because I struggled for a long time to even wrap my brain around, setting a goal and then achieving it. I mean, it's easy to just say something, but then how do you get there? So I'm just going to walk you through some of the top tips that I learned from Rebecca and that I implement every single day in both my businesses. So the first thing about setting a goal is to set your intention. So meaning, what do you envision for your cake business? What do you want it to look like? And I know that sounds like kind of a big picture thing, but you can start big picture and then kind of whittle it down. So I'm going to include, when I sign off from this live, I'm going to go ahead and include a link to a free PDF workbook that I've developed to kind of help you through all of the things that I'm going to talk through in this live. So if you happen to be watching this on the replay, I would suggest that you go ahead and download the PDF first, and then you can kind of work along and follow along as I go. So setting your intention. So what does that mean? Well, I like to think of it as you're trying to like pin down exactly, what you want. And you can have multiple intentions, or you can just have a single intention. But in the workbook that I'm including with this live is it's going to start out with an exercise to help you get clear on your cake business intentions. So I've got a copy in front of me, so I'm just going to kind of just skim through what is included. So the first step would be to answer some questions that you're going to ask yourself. And this is just kind of general questions, but I'm just going to read through. So the first question I have in the workbook is, what makes you happy? What do you love doing in your cake business? So for me, when I first wanted to have a cake business, my goal, really, my intention was to just do wedding cakes. That's all I wanted to do. I always wanted to do wedding cakes. And as I worked for years and started doing things, I kind of found that I had more specific intentions than I even realized myself, which is why I feel like it's important to revisit goals and intentions on a regular basis. But for me, again, I wanted to do wedding cakes, and now I do different things. I still do wedding cakes, and I still love that, but I've really honed that down even farther, where I like to do specific types of wedding cakes. And then you're just going to want to sit down and just brainstorm through the questions. Just have a quiet space. Make sure you're not going to be interrupted. Just write down what comes to mind. Don't overthink it. Just ask the question, write it out. The next question I have on here, what have been your most enjoyable achievements in your cake business so far? So, like for me, what I discovered that I really loved about making cakes for people was that moment when you see how much joy it brings them. And I even have kind of whittled that down more specifically. One thing that I love to do with my cake business is to really listen to the customer and what they want to achieve with their celebration cake. And I love to kind of pick something that maybe they weren't even thinking they wanted, but when they see it incorporated in the design, they're just like super happy. So just as an example, that's how I would personally have answered that question. Another question to help you set your intentions is, if you could do, be, or have anything in your business, what would you choose? And this is like sky's the limit. Would you want to have it full time? Would you want to just work part time? Would you want to be the leading kids celebration cake in your area? Just whatever really brings you joy and that resonates with you and your purpose. And then those are just kind of some starting questions. The next step then to get clear on your intention is to read through all of the brainstorming answers that you had from the questions, and then you're going to highlight or work through some phrases or words that seem to repeat themselves, that really just jump out at you, some very common phrases. And so when you start to see things repeat, that can kind of help you become clear on what you really want on a deeper level for your cake business. So I'm just going to give you an example. So let's just say someone filled out the workbook and their common phrases or words were things like children's cakes, making kids happy, sharing my knowledge, having an impact. So if those were some common phrases, maybe a big picture dream or intention for a person with these desires might look something like this: to have a baking business where I can focus on creating cakes specifically for kids, and where I can offer instruction for young aspiring bakers. So just an example. Yours could be totally different, but that is kind of the first step. Is, you can set a goal, but what are you working toward? And that's what this exercise is going to help you kind of navigate through if you're not sure. Now, if you already know exactly what your goal is and what you want to do, totally fine. Next thing I'm going to talk about is not it's great to just have a goal, but really to set yourself up for the most success would be to rewrite that goal as a SMART goal. So SMART is an acronym, and it stands for specific, measurable, action oriented. Sometimes this, I've heard other people call the A achievable. R stands for results based. I've also heard it called relevant. And then the T is for timely or time based. So, some examples would be, let's just say, here's a goal. I want to earn more money. Awesome. Love it. But how would you achieve that? It's a little broad to be able to just say, I want to earn more money. Okay, awesome. But let's make it a little easier on yourself by rewriting that as a SMART goal. So a goal would be, I want to earn more money. A SMART goal would be, I want to increase my net profit from $20,000 to $30,000 for the financial year. So if we just kind of pick that apart a little bit, we've got it's specific. Instead of just saying, I want more money, you're saying specifically how much. And then measurable, you've got, okay, I'm going to increase it from 20,000 to 30,000. That's something you can measure and track progress. Achievable or action oriented, I've heard both. If you were going to look at it as achievable, something that you want to think about is that something that's realistic for you? If you set yourself, I am all about setting big goals, but if you set a goal that your brain doesn't really believe you can do, it's going to be difficult for you to reverse engineer that and take the action and stay motivated to actually achieve that goal. So I think, something like, going from 20,000 to 30,000 in the course of 12 months, that's 10 grand over the course of a year. So you're looking at less than 1,000 a month. Okay, that's something we can work with. So again, just an example. And then results based, again, that's kind of like, okay, what are my results? That's kind of tied to measuring. But the other thing is relevant. So is it relevant for your business? Is that a good goal to have? And then time-based. Obviously, we're saying for the financial year. So we've given ourselves a deadline with this goal. I'm going to do this over the next 12 months. Another example, let's take that same goal. I want to earn more money. Okay, let's rewrite that as a different SMART goal. Here's an example. I want to increase my average sale from $150 to $250 and a minimum of 3 orders per week within 3 months by a certain date. And I want to be fully booked out, which is approximately 6 orders, averaging $200 within 6 months. So this is a very specific goal where you've set, okay, a few different things. You want to increase your average cake sale price, and you want to increase how many you have in a week, and you're giving yourself a 3-month deadline, and then taking that a little bit further, say within the next 6 months, I want to be booked out. Here's another example of a SMART goal with the same goal. I want to earn more money. Maybe it could look something like this. I want to increase my gross profit margin from 20% to 60% within 6 months by a specific deadline. And I want to increase that within 3 months, increase my gross profit margin from 20% to 40% within 3 months. So again, giving yourself a couple different things to shoot for. Or here's one more example of a different goal rewritten as a SMART goal. I want to have a storefront bakery. Okay, here's that rewritten as a SMART goal. So specific, measurable, action-oriented, or achievable, results-based or relevant, and timely. I want to have a shop front within 2.5 years by X date. I want to increase my gross profit margin from 20% to 60% by X date, which is closer, and increase monthly sales from 1,000 to 4,000 per month by another date. So again, it's just a matter of what's your intention. Okay, write that as a goal, rewrite that as a SMART goal, because then once you have a SMART goal and it's something that's specific and measurable, then you can do the third step, which is to reverse engineer it. So you've set your goal. Now what you can do, and this is probably the most important step that is going to make it easier for you to actually achieve the goal. By reverse engineer it, what I mean is, let's say, okay, I wanna earn $10,000 more per year, by the end of the year. So let's break that out. So reverse engineering it is basically like breaking that big goal that's at the end of the finish line and taking it and breaking it into bite-sized manageable chunks. Because I feel like, for me even, or all of us, I think, if you have something that feels so big, it's overwhelming, and I don't feel like you will have the incentive or the motivation to keep going. And so, okay, if we're going to say I only need, I need less than $1,000 extra a month, or even let's say $500 a month. You want to make 6,000 by, 6,000 more dollars over the year. Okay, well, that's only $500 extra per month. So then what you can do is you can say, okay, $500. How many cakes will I need to make, or how many orders, or how many classes that I teach would I need to book to achieve that $500? And then you continue like breaking it into tiny little bite-sized pieces until it's okay, it's manageable. I can do that. And it doesn't have to be, you set the goal and then you never change it for 12 months. Set a goal for yourself for, by 6 months I want to be here. And then you can reverse engineer that. Okay, how can I achieve that? And then, if you're falling a little short in the beginning, reevaluate or try to come up with some new ideas. But the biggest thing is to make it as easy on yourself as possible and make it believable, so you can believe in yourself, so you can actually take that action and achieve it. Now, the fourth step is, I know I said the third step was really important. The fourth step is the absolute most important step, and that is to take action daily, even if it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day to start off. Figure out what you want, what you need to do to accomplish the tiniest step of your goal that you've broken down and reverse engineered, and then do the work. I promise you, if you take even a tiny bit of action every day and you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it every day, whether you feel like it or not, whether people are cheering you on or criticizing you, stay focused and do the work. It's no easier or harder than that. So I'm just going to give you kind of a big picture of what my big SMART goal looked like when I wanted to quit my day job. So I used to be an accountant before I did cakes and cake business coaching full time. So when I worked with Rebecca, she asked, what do you want? What's your intention? And I said, well, I don't like my day job and I'm really passionate about cakes and that's what I want to do. So I want to quit my day job and I want to do cakes full time. So she said, okay, how much money do you feel like you need to save up to be comfortable to do that? So I said, well, broke it down. Okay, I think I need this much money as a cushion before I feel comfortable quitting my day job. And she said, okay, let's take that chunk of money. Now, what are all the different ways that you can save up that money, earn that money, so that you can have that cushion, so that you can feel comfortable to do it? So we kept breaking it down and breaking it down into little tiny bite-sized pieces so that I could do it. And so basically we worked together. We came up with a plan where I set a goal to have at least a certain number of orders of cake orders per week, because I was doing my cake business as a side hustle. So I worked full time and then I had a side hustle, which is super common. I think a ton of us who do cakes full time, that's kind of how we started. So I had several different actions that I took every day, every week, every month that moved me closer to that goal of having that chunk of money. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this many cakes a week. How am I going to do that? Again, break that down. Well, I had to do some marketing. I had to get my name out there. I had to promote myself. And then I decided that I was going to look at my expenses, my personal expenditures, and tighten down on those so that I could start saving more of my day job paycheck and just putting that away. So I put a certain amount of every single paycheck that I got from my day job, every penny of profit from my side hustle cake business. I opened an account, I put that money in there, I didn't touch it, and I just let it grow and grow. And again, I took daily action to work toward that goal. We set the goal that I would be able to quit my day job within a year and a half, and I actually achieved it early because I was so motivated and so focused on taking the action, doing what I needed to do to meet my goal. So that I'm living proof. It works. It absolutely works. So I hope this has been helpful. I do have a few more things. I'm just gonna kind of give you some ideas if you're thinking like, well, I don't know what kind of goal to set. There's different kinds of goals you can set. So obviously you can set financial goals. And whether that's to do what I did, where you save up money and, have a certain amount that you comfortably want before you can quit your day job, that's one financial goal. Maybe you have a financial goal of increasing your profit margin. Lots of different ways you can do that. There's a lot of moving pieces. So you can cut your expenses, you can raise your prices, which I highly recommend you do. We'll be doing more Thursday Business Bites a lot on pricing and profit. So stay tuned for those. Maybe a different goal you might have to do with your skill set. Maybe there's a new skill that you would just love to master. Maybe you want to get better with fondant. Maybe you want to learn how to do flowers, edible flowers. Maybe you want to learn wafer paper flowers, which, by the way, if you do, check out Anna Ostrowskina. She's been on our podcast and she's amazing. Her wafer paper flower tutorials and her course, Wafer Paper Academy, off the charts. Maybe there's some new tools that you would like to learn how to use. Maybe you want to invest in an edible printer or a Cricut cutting machine. And I do a lot of live tutorials for Icing Images, and they sell all of those products. So that's my little shameless plug. I don't get anything from that. I love their stuff. Maybe your goal is around your mindset. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough confidence. Maybe you want to work on that. Or maybe you have specific marketing goals. Maybe you want to book more weddings or serve higher end clients. So those are all just some ideas of some goals that you can have. And then you're just going to take that, run it through the process that I just described, and do the work. And if you ever are doubting yourself, send me a message. Jump in the group. Say, hey guys, I'm struggling, because I would love to support you and help you, because I know you can do it. And the reason I know you can do it is because I did it. And what one can do, another can do. So that's really what I wanted to cover today. So I'm excited. This is our first one. And I'm going to put the link for that free PDF workbook that I talked about, so you can grab that just to help you get started. A couple other things I want to mention. We are doing also with Thursday Business Bites every Tuesday. I'm doing Technique Tuesdays. So I'll be sharing either a live technique tutorial demo, or it could be a pre-recorded one. So make sure you tune in for those. If there's something, either a technique or a business question that you would like to know, that you're just, burning questions, please, you can comment in this video. You can PM me through Facebook. You can send me an email at cakebusinessschool@gmail.com. I would love to hear your ideas, because the whole point of this is to serve you the best that I can. So if there's something you want to know, please reach out and let me know. And then if you are loving these tutorials and business bites, I would love to see you inside Cake Biz Boot Camp. It's newly rebranded. We've got 3 levels. We've got basic training, intermediate camp, and advanced camp. Now would be an awesome time to jump in, because the price is going to be going up on those plans in the middle of February. So if you feel like you want to have a little extra support, check that out. I will also put the link to all the information about Cake Biz Boot Camp after I jump off, so you can check that out. And let's see, I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I just really wanted you guys to know that you can do this. And even if your goal is just to maybe sell 1 cake a month, I'm telling you, this process works. So that's it. And I'm going to be back on Tuesday next week with this one I know is going to be a pre-recorded tutorial. I'm going to show you guys some cool little techniques that you can use to make Valentine's Day cake pops. And if you missed this week's Tuesday, Technique Tuesday, you can still catch it, and it's on our YouTube channel. Also, it was my top tips and tricks on how to make the do-it-yourself cookie kits that you could start marketing to your customers for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, anything. The techniques are the same. I just happened to do a Valentine's Day one since it's almost February. So, okay, you guys, it's time to live your sweet business dreams. And I know you can do it because I did it. So I will see you next week, and everybody have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.